So in the last lesson, we did discuss about some of the benefits of mathematics, and we mentioned that the first benefit is that maths lays a foundation for learning, whereby we discussed about the child being able to have an acquisition of complex from simple aspects to more complex aspects. The second one we did mention last lesson is that it's important for building attitudes and skills for learning, whereby the students are able to build particular aspects and skills. They also become more open-minded, and they also stop having egocentric views. Whatever is right, whatever they think is right is not necessarily the truth. So maths also helps us develop those particular issues. Then the third one, we also mentioned last lesson, is that they get to appreciate the environment and develop an interest and desire to learn more about it and understand it. So in this one, you're basically talking about maths enables them to appreciate the environment more. They're able to understand aspects like time, sunrise and sunset, and the time frame in between that. And especially as the child moves from preschool into grade school, grade 1, 2, 3 upwards. From grade 3 onwards, they should be able now to calculate time, understand seconds, minutes, hours, etc. All those are benefits of mathematics. Number 4, as we proceed, they're able to, it helps the children grow the ability to solve problems. So this one you're basically talking about solve problems. So maths is a problem-solving endeavor, whereby both mathematics and science, the child encounters practical problems which they require to solve, and this makes them good problem solvers. So as a student of mathematics from the formative ages, from the young years or the preschool years, they should be able to solve unique problems through mathematics. Like, for example, time of play. You'll find children fighting over a playing item. You can always give them a solution because they can also time themselves. For example, how many times did a child roll the tire or the wheel across the field? You can always say that you'll be rolling the wheel or the tire 2-3 times each. So in that way, they'll be able to solve simple problems, and that will develop into the future, whereby they're able to solve a bit more complex problems. Then the other thing is that mathematics enables us to analyze situations and be rational. So, and mathematics enables us to analyze situations and be rational, or make rational decisions. By this I mean, it enables us to make wise decisions about scenarios. Here, the children follow scientific progress or processes of solving problems that they're expected to analyze occurrences during an experiment and give their own explanation and conclusion. Remember, we did mention that mathematics is married a lot to science. So they can be able to analyze basic scenarios, experiments like planting seeds, germination process, etc. That one you can also apply some mathematical concepts. The last one is that they are able to develop ability to think logically. So children are able to think logically. This occurs as they use patterns and relationships to analyze mathematics and science situations which they encounter daily. So they'll be able to think logically or think in a more practical manner, even as they do encounter day-to-day activities. The last bit of today's lesson, I'm going to go through importance of studying mathematics in early childhood education. So what are some of the importance of studying mathematics? The first is that it lays the future. So this is basically a summary for future learning. It also enables the children to solve problems or think abstractly through a problem. It gives them positive attitudes towards science and mathematics. It develops the child's interest towards their world or environment. It also develops the children's ability to analyze situations and make rational decisions and promote development of thinking logically. So some of the goals of mathematics include observation or observing and describing concrete objects. And so as you teach mathematics, the child should be able to observe and describe concrete objects. You should be able to recognize color, patterns, and shapes. The child should be able to compare objects using terms and describe them from a mathematical perspective, like lighter than, heavier than, bigger than, smaller than, etc. They should be able to classify objects, especially the matching objects, in similarity or differences. They should be able to copy patterns. That's also another mathematical aspect which goes from the formative years all the way into end of primary school. They should be able to recognize, they should be also able to write numericals. They should be able to also use words like none, all, equals to, etc. Recognition of words in relation to mathematics. They should use one-to-one correspondence. By that we mean 1 plus 1 is equals to 2. So this is a one-to-one correspondence. You should be able to teach that at the very formative ages of your studies. Then you should be able to predict and make discoveries. And lastly, is to be able to make new and interesting skills and discoveries. So these are some of the objectives of teaching mathematics that one should develop at the formative ages. Mathematics education is the practice of teaching and learning mathematics. Mathematics education attempts to achieve a variety of different objectives, which include teaching of the basic numericals or numeracy skills in children, teaching of practical mathematics, that is arithmetics, elementary algebra, geometry, and teaching of abstract mathematical concepts such as set and functions. At the early ages of the preschool, the pupils should be able to understand some of these concepts. It is very important as you look at your syllabus and your syllabus and lesson plans, as you develop your schemes of work, you must also remember that you proceed progressively through teaching of mathematics. You begin with the very simple terms, concepts, and you advance slowly into the more advanced concepts. So thank you.